Okay, so what I want to do now is construct a piece that will allow us to open up our house, to lift up the roof and to be able to access the inside, either to put a gift in or to put lights in or whatever we need. You can also glue your house together and skip this step entirely. It's up to you. But if you think you might want to get to the inside of it for some reason, this is important to know. This is the bottom of our roof. This is the top of our second story. Now, when we fit this together, our roof is going to be basically centered. I'm going to move my snapping off here. These two are going to be centered on top of each other, and they're going to be aligned on the left and right. So the hole that we have to work with is what's between the two. So what I want to do is I want to take this piece and this piece first, and I want to align them. Control-Shift-A for the aligned panel, and I want to align them in the center and vertically so that now we have a perfect alignment. Now what I need to do is say that I need this section here. This is what I need to be able to fit down in and fit through both of those. It's a little awkward, so the easiest thing to remember is that our roof is the larger piece. Since our roof is the larger piece, we're going to be gluing this onto the bottom of the roof, and the main thing we want to be able to do is fit it into the hole that forms here. So let's just do this. We're going to select the two, and we're going to press Control-Shift+, and we'll union them. At this point now, we have the shape that we need to work with. So the second thing we're going to do is we're going to come up to Extensions and Papercraft, Extruder. Leave the settings to the defaults if you want, or change what you want, but make it, let's say, 0.75, and apply. Oh, and you see what happened? We have an outline here. That's not what we wanted. Okay, let's go back. What we want when we extrude. So when we come to Papercraft, Extruder, settings are the same. I want a 0.75 inch, and I want to have it on, not on the outline, but on the cutouts. I want it to fit along the inside here. Okay. So now we have pieces that will fit along the inside of this, so it will fit from the roof down into the second story. The pieces we have are two identical pieces that are our structure, and two identical pieces which are our decorative. Well, we don't really need the decorative, but we're going to be having something similar, and I'll explain what that is very soon. So let's just work with our structure pieces. First, we're going to run these around the inside, and we're going to create like a raised area. I don't need, on the right-hand side, I don't need the tabs. So let's work with just one of these. I'm going to get rid of that one. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this and this as well, because this is the only one we're interested in. First thing I'm going to do is break it apart. Control-Shift-K. With this piece, I'm going to use my node tool, and I'm going to select the nodes that pull out the path. So it'll be these nodes here. That's the path for the tabs on the right side. Control-Delete. Now I've gotten rid of the tabs over there. I still do have score lines to deal with, but that's the shape that I want my piece to be. I'm going to take that piece and send it to the back. Now I'm going to select all of the score lines on this side, not the bottom ones here where the tab are, where the tab is. Control-Delete. Oops. Because I've got my select tool, I just need to press delete. If I've been working with the node tool, Control-Delete. All right, so this gives us the shape that we want for coming around the inside and building up that collar shape or that little extrusion shape there. I'm going to Control K to join those pieces, Control D to duplicate. Now I want another set of wrappers um, just around the outside. They don't really need tabs on either side, but they need to fit around these after we've built them. So I'm going to duplicate this. Let's change the color so I know what I'm working with. I'm going to break it apart, and I'm going to get rid of the tab on this side as well. Let's bring that to the top. Okay, so just as before, press your F2 key and get rid of the nodes that make up your tab. Should be the little notch node here, the top and the bottom on that tab. Press Control Delete, and that gives you the shape that we're going to want to use to go around these once we get them in place. Okay. Now, I still have a bunch of nodes over there that made up my score line, so actually we can just use our select tool, just select all of those and press delete. Then select this and send it to the back with the arrow up here, and you can see we still have our score lines across here, which is what we were after. We're going to take all of that, Control K to combine it, and then Control D to duplicate it. Okay. We now have the pieces that we need to make this insert piece. And again, it will be glued to the bottom of the roof, and the part that we build up on the inside here will stick into the second story. So I hope that is clear. Again, there's an extra one of these. You do not need it. You can just delete that. It'll be obvious, quite honestly, which direction these go. So I'm going to delete that as well. All right, so that is the piece we'll use for building the piece that goes to the inside. The only thing I'm going to add at this point is I'm going to add a little tiny bit of height to these two. So right now these are a height of 10.75. I'm going to add maybe a half of a tenth of an inch. I'll make it 10.8 inches high on these. And the only reason is they're going to be going around these, and I want to stretch them out just a tiny bit so that the circumference will have extended to where it needs to be. So that's it. And when we build this, it'll become a little clearer how to put it together.